Extension of the Black Mass. Rite of the Rising of the Undead. A rite performed once a year, either in the fall or spring, a nocturnal rite. The worshippers of Satan, holding lighted torches in their hands, should resemble animals rather than humans who sense that something disturbing is about to happen. All the rituals of the rising of the undead take place at night. They must not begin before night falls, and they must be completed before dawn. Flamen Luciferi and Lupercus dress in blasphemous robes of black. They may also wear masks. Torch candles should be prepared for the participants in the rising of the undead. Liturgy of hellfire. In the mortuary, the lights must be extinguished. The fire is lit outside the mortuary. When the herd gathers, the flamen comes with his attendants, Ingratus carrying a black candle torch. The Flamen Luciferi curses the gathered herd and leads the worshippers into the trance of the deceptive liturgy with these words: Cursed ones, on this mysterious night, in which Son of Dawn has passed from the bondage of spiritual death called life by the slaves of the false imaginary God, to the fullness of the truth of life in flesh and blood, the Church of Antigod calls all the children of darkness to gather around the fire. If we listen to the word of the devil and perform blasphemous rites, we can be sure that we will die confident of sharing in Lucifer's victory over the curse of the apparent life of illusion, and that first, the absurdity of the very concept of God will burn within us as in the eternal fire of hell. Then a tribute is paid to the fire. Son of Dawn, thou hast granted to the worshippers the light of thy wisdom. Turn thy terrible countenance upon this devilish fire, and by these deceptive rites kindle in us such a wild desire for life that, as if with a maddened heart, we may experience the revelation of Lucifer within us. After the tribute of fire, an Ingratus, who holds a candle torch, stands before the priest. Flamen Luciferi on the torch gouges with a stylus an inverted cross, and on it the letter Omega. At the same time, he speaks as if possessed in demonic exultation. 1. Lucifer yesterday and today gouges the vertical arm of the cross. 2. Without beginning, symbol of the end, gouges the horizontal arm. 3. Omega gouges the letter Omega on the cross. 4. To us, archhumans belong time and eternity. To the archhuman be glory and dominion throughout all the ages of the ages. Now the Flamen Luciferi lights a torch from the fire, saying in dark inspiration, May the light of Lucifer, the reflection of the glory of the one true God, illuminate the darkness of superstition and blind faith, and sow skepticism, fear, and doubt in the hearts of our enemies. The herd fills the mortuary, and Flamen, with the slaves who carry the torch, makes his way to the mortuary gates. After a curse and the announcement of a dark liturgy, the Flamen Luciferi spells fire and prepares the candle torch. Procession of the undead. After lighting the torch, the servant of the fire applies incensum to the ladle. Then Lupercus takes the torch and sets out a possessed procession of the undead to the mortuary. At the head goes the slave of the black altar with a smoking incense stick. He is followed by the torch-bearer, then the servant of fire, the Flamen, the slaves of the black altar, and the herd. They are all carrying torches. At the gates of the mortuary, Lupercus stops, raises the torch, and cries out in dark possession, Lucifer is light. The flock shouts out in madness, Glory to Satan. The servant of fire lights his torch from the flame of a black candle. Lupercus moves to the center of the mortuary, stops, picks up the torch, and shouts a second time, Lucifer is light. The herd screams as if possessed. Glory to Satan! The followers light black candles from the flame of the torch, passing the light to each other. When Lupercus comes to the black altar, standing with his back to the people, he shouts in possession for the third time, Lucifer is the light. The herd responds with even greater fanaticism, Glory to Satan. Flamen Luciferi walks up to the black altar and begins the Black Mass or rite of death and transfiguration. Procession of the undead, too. The procession of the undead is a demonstration of spiritual death, the death of false hope and the transition to the curse of life in flesh and blood. Immediately after the blood sacrifice, the flamen and slaves of the black altar are laid out in their coffins. Lupercus puts out the bones and the chalice of blood, after which the servant of the fire flames them. The herd begins to laugh hysterically and madly. Lupercus begins to scream in a demonic, possessed voice, Glory to death, emptiness and nothingness. Death is the truth. Eternal life is a lie. Rejoice all the dead, for you are free. There is nothing there. Rejoice, earth of the arch-human, for you are free from the darkness of superstition that has deceived the world. Let this accursed mortuary crumble from the madness and fanaticism of this possessed herd. Flamen Luciferi and the slaves rise from their coffins. Flamen picks up the bones and sets off the procession of undead. An inverted cross is carried at the front of the procession. The procession goes outside and circles the mortuary 3 times. After the procession returns to the black altar, the inverted cross is placed on the altar. The Flamen Luciferi begins to chant a chaotic song or a song without words in the demon language. The Flamen then recites the formula, Son of Dawn, you by the sacrifice of your apparent life have given to the wise the freedom and strength of the arch-human. Give him always from your ambiguous teachings that he may attain full freedom and possess the wild joy of abundant life, life in flesh and blood, which you allow him to taste. Flamen Luciferi blesses the herd by making the sign of an inverted cross with his bones, then disperses the herd with the words, Get out, O you dead in spirit, you undead in flesh and blood, get out and live here and now. Glory be to Satan, anti-God, arch-human.